Hello and welcome everybody to round 9 of Race Department's Formula FG Championship. We're here in Britain for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, should be saying. First 100% race of the year outside of the opening round, straight in the middle of the season. This is where title aspirations can be won and lost. There's no extra points or anything, but there is an extra 25% race distance, or roughly somewhere around 75 to 80 kilometers on top of what is normal for, well, what you find in, I guess you'd say, the more common FFG races, which is, of course, the 75% distance. So, obviously, there's a lot more time for engines to go pop, I guess you would say. So, definitely a crucial moment in the season. Could be here, could be in Germany, Belgium and Italy as well. Many opportunities for everything to go wrong. You probably won't necessarily win the season here, but you definitely can lose it. That's the best way of putting it. Qualifying then, absolutely pouring it down, unlike this race, which will be nice and bone dry, but qualifying, chucking it down, and in the last minute it was James McNamara coming through, picking up pole position by just over by a hundredth of a second, I should say, from Jack Lasky, putting the British driver down to second. Another British driver, Daniel Harvey, he'll start third as he has to go down to the second row where McNamara was. He'll be alongside Manolis Sigalakis, big gap between the top three, and then to fourth. Manolis looking to have a better race here than he did in France. Same going for Hugo Rossello. Couldn't really have the home race he was looking forward to. Maybe here he has another chance. Nathan Corns will start 6th in a surprise effort there in his Raven West. Rui Martins, Ben Utzer. Normal, I guess you'd say, for top 10 in qualifying. And then Tapio Rinho and Rob Sharp, two dark horses, can definitely make quite an impact on the race if they're able to get going. So they're in 9th and 10th. Further behind, Jordan Bradford, Joseph Wright, a couple more Brits, rookies as well, 13th and 14th for them. They'll be disappointed with that, that's for sure. Bradford might be able to make him, he might be able to go forwards quite well during the race. Wright might just struggle a little bit in the Raven West. Further back, Stefan Berner still not having a great season. Every time he seems to get onto a high, he's back down to a low for a little while longer. And then Omar Saeed, we're having fun with Omar at the moment, aren't we? He starts from 20th today. He's not made it quite as hard for everyone, or not as quite as hard for himself, I should say. Going to give himself a little bit of a head start, and also he's got a longer race, so might be able to make up some positions there. Going to be an exciting one, that is for sure. With that, we'll head to the grid then for the British Grand Prix. On the grid then, you have McNamara, Lasky a little bit further behind. You can also see Harvey there. Quickly up to 4 lights now, 5 lights. Getting ourselves prepared. Lights are out. We're underway here for the British Grand Prix. Looks like it's a good start on the outside there for Lasky. It'll be McNamara taking the lead at least for the moment. Down towards the sweeping S's. Lasky still battling there. McNamara holding on, and just look at them behind. Corns is getting right up in there as well. He's gotten himself up into 5th. Benusa 6th. Rossello has moved back 2 positions off the start line as a result of that. Onto the hanger straight for the first time. McNamara going to be under pressure, but both the DTKs having a little bit of a battle here as well. Going to go down the straight, and it will be Lasky picking up that position. Looks like he has it done and dusted, so he'll pick that one up. McNamara maybe a little bit wide. See if Harvey maybe's going to have a go at that, but it might be Sigalakis down the inside having a look for it. Can't quite find it. Harvey goes through. McNamara slots in there. Corns still there in front of Utzer. Rossello now has been overtaken by Martins as well. And as we can see, the front pairing here, actually they're looking like they're both on the one-stop strategy. Hasn't been proven to be all that amazing in seasons gone past, so we'll see how they're going to be able to go. It's Daniel Harvey who's the first one on the 2-stop strategy, along with Sigalakis, Corns, Utzer, Martins as well. Rossello is on the 1-stop by the looks of it. Bradford, Rodriguez, 1 stop. Bradford on 2, Rinho 2, 2 for Dovizioso, who hasn't had a bad effort so far to get to 12th from 15th. Joseph Wright, 2 stop, he's stayed stable. Rob Sharp has gone backwards quite a bit and he's on a 2 stop, so that's a surprising effort. Same with Chris Guardian. Luke Rosella not too bad. Stefan Berners holding position on 1 stop. Damien Sun, here's Tim Engbrink, new look Keranen Motorsport car. A little bit of British Racing green going on there for the Finnish squad. And Engbrink will be... he'll be on a 2 stop. Toto seems like he's on 1. Allington on a 1 and Omar Saeed on a 1 stop strategy as well, which puts him back in 22nd, so he is giving everybody a bit of a head start. Back to the front meanwhile, Lasky. Here he is going along, leading his little train of cars, and once again he's gotten himself ahead of McNamara, which is incredibly crucial, as McNamara has been shown all season long to be struggling to get past 1 car, and that's car number 10. Bright yellow, Renault engine, Bridgestone tyres. Oh, and he's gone wide there as well, McNamara. He's just losing time now to Lasky. He's too busy defending from Harvey, and it's a really good tactical move there by DTK. It's creating a bit of a line. Rossello has probably ended up doing quite a good job for them. Bradford there, moving past Rinho. That's a surprising move there by Falcon. Because I think I saw Corns might have the fastest lap at the moment, so that's surprising as well. Nathan Corns maybe going to be looking to get something done here. Magnussen, Beckett, through they go. McNamara holding off at the moment. Through Chapel. Oh, really wide there for Lasky onto the hanger straight now. He's surely going to be a sitting duck. McNamara, though, he's going to try to go the long way around, and I just can't see how that's ever going to work for him. He's going to end up losing a position here unnecessarily. McNamara down to 3rd then. Maybe going to lose another one if Sigalakis is feeling brave. And yeah, he's pushed McNamara. McNamara just completely losing the plot there. And he is going to be down a long way. He's up the inside there of Utsa. He might be able to hold the position. Yeah, he will just be able to. Might almost help out Martins, but in fact it might have even impacted on him. So, yeah, not a great move there by McNamara. He's put himself a long way back. The DTK is now squabbling down towards this little chicane. Oh, are they going to be able to hold it? Yes, they just do, but just look at how much time they've both lost as a result. Harvey and Lasky there, allowing Sigalakis and Corns back into this fight. McNamara isn't too far away from that either, and that's crucial because McNamara still wants to be having a go at Lasky. They're on the same strategy. They're the ones fighting. Not only in this race, but in the championship as well. Very important for both of them that they don't give too much advantage to either one of them, as now Harvey down the straight. The front straight, oh, it's not an overtaking position there normally, and he's proven that one, that is for sure. Now he's under a little bit of pressure. Oh, he's still looking so close between all the drivers at this point. McNamara has gotten onto the back of this pack, so once again we have a pack of 6 leading the way. Harvey down the straight now, he should be able to get it done. Sigalakis is there as well, however, and he surely will be liking, thought of making the overtake. Utsa in the background going to look for McNamara, it seems. Up the inside, good move there by Harvey. How's Sigalakis going to go? Doesn't get it done just yet. Looks like he's putting Lasky under a bit of pressure. No, but it could be Corns now, having a bit of a move. Not quite. So it's Harvey now into the lead of the race. And he looks to be bolting away with it as quickly as possible. Ben Utsa has successfully gotten past there. So he's up ahead of McNamara. He'll be happy about that. Bradford on a charge at the moment, up into 7th. He's gone past Martins. That looks like that's Hugo Rossello. Going off there, coming back onto the track in 12th. Not too much loss, but that is the one thing. The drivers always seem to be struggling on the one-stop strategy here over the years. It's a strong strategy, but the drivers and the cars just... The car's very difficult to handle is the impression that I get. There's Harvey just jumping away from the pack a little bit. He'll be happy with how it's going so far. And Sigalakis, long way up the inside there of Lasky, slowing them both down. Corns is interested in it. Oh, Nutzer is as well. There's Bradford making the overtake there on McNamara and getting the job done as well. Really good move there by the Falcon driver, as now Sigalakis surely will have the chance down the straight. How close can he get? He's not all that close at all, and it's going to be maybe Corns with the first opportunity. Maybe not. Sigalakis, can he get up alongside enough? Yes, he can. Pushes Lasky wide. Pushes him very wide, in fact, and that allows Corns to follow him through. Utsa interested not too much. Oh, there's a little bit of a touch in the background there. McNamara very close, and Corns has gone around. Up the inside there, and I think, yeah, it was move under brakes there. I thought I saw that happening, and that's going to be really disappointing there for Corns. Gets himself back going again, but well, he was up in third place, I think, at the time when that happened, so that's really impactful. And Lasky, well, Lasky's back up into second. Oh, we completely missed Sigalakis. Sigalakis has gone off into the grass as well, and he'll be stuck there for even longer. So there you go, second and third taking each other out of this race. Well, I say that, not completely out, but more or less out of it. It's going to be leading, well, it's going to be leaving Lasky back into second place, in his closest challengers are Ben Utsa, Jordan Bradford, Tapio Rinyaho. How he has changed so quickly. Daniel Harvey, meanwhile, he is miles up the road at this rate. 5.8 seconds ahead of Utsa, who's made the overtake there on Lasky. Expect to see Bradford and Rinyaho making the move soon. Bradford a long way up so far. Maybe looking for the inside second part of the corner. Won't find it there. McNamara still staying quite close to Lasky here, and that's going to really be helping him if he can follow these Falcons through. Seems to be a little bit further off now, as Bradford going to be looking to make the move. Will he be... Well, he's already passed Lasky here. Lasky, is he going to be caught on the outside a little bit? Rinyaho not quite far up enough. He's gotten onto the curb there, however, Lasky, and now he's getting absolutely swamped on all sides. McNamara is through. Martin's on the inside, not going to find it, however. Dovizioso makes up a position as well. Very important there, as we did have a brief yellow flag. I think that might have actually even been for Lasky himself, so really quick flag work there by the marshals. Oh, and Sigalakis, just look how far behind he is. He's only just coming onto the hanger straight. Nathan Corns is come down towards, I believe it's Abbey. And Bridge, like that's crazy. Lasky now going to be under pressure from Dovizioso. We have another yellow. Oh, Carlos Rodriguez. That looks like he's gone in quick there. Yep, and gravel trap. Oh, actually, it's not too bad. Oh, he's gotten a... Might be a brake problem of some description. Doesn't seem it. Got the car moving and just let it go straight to the wall. So he'll have to get to the pits, which shouldn't be too difficult. He just needs to find himself back into a forward gear. And off he goes. And there you go. Once again, it's that one-stop strategy. It just seems to be unsettling the cars a little bit. Really unfortunate for him, but well, we've seen here in the past it can be so much worse than that. It does sort of screw up his whole one-stop strategy, as he's now going to have to pit a second time. So at the moment, Utsa, Bradford, Rinho, they are the ones chasing down Daniel Harvey, and it doesn't seem to be much of an impression at this point in time. Behind is McNamara, quite a distance. Dovizioso has been able to get past Lasky, and Lasky's got to be careful because Martins, Sharp, Wright, they're all hungry at the moment. They've got light cars. They're looking to make some overtakes. Lasky is just going to be losing time. Him losing out there. I think it's though my knowledge of Silverstone is not as good as other tracks such as Spa. I'll admit that. But Lasky losing that position there on the outside of the curb, just getting absolutely swamped, has not helped him in the slightest. He's going to find himself probably getting shuffled back quite a distance. Hugo Rossello is the next driver on a one-stop. But he's probably going to get overtaken by Luke Rosello right here. Oh, well, that probably won't be too far away. Martins now. Pressuring Lasky. Behind him, Rob Sharp battling with Joseph Wright. Important battle is right here as Lasky and Martins. Martins up alongside, looks to have maybe his nose even just ahead a little bit. Gets the pass done as we have a spin up ahead. It's Jordan Bradford. Is that the two Falcons coming together? Oh no, maybe he's gotten himself into Utsa. That looks to be the case. Yeah, there's the nudge. Utsa keeps it on track. Whoops. Ooh, and Rinho, he's able to dodge that. I thought that might have been a collision. Oh, jeez, McNamara come flying through there. Oh, gee, he wasn't slowing down. Oh, there we go, and it's Lasky! I was just going to look at some of these drivers coming through. Lasky's going through. Martins has overtaken him. Oh, he's gone onto the curb yet again, Lasky. Yellow flag's coming out. Is there a bump from someone? No, he's just taking a wide line. He's going through. He's got the inside curb. Rob Sharp has smashed into the back of him as well. It's absolute carnage there, as now they're all struggling to find out who's in what position. So Jordan Bradford, massive damage. Joseph Wright's fine. Rob Sharp, damage as well. From about, what, like 8th? 7th through to like 20th or so. It's just nothing but cars. And Jack Lasky, he's driving that three-wheeled car as best he can, but there is just nothing he's going to be able to do. There's no pit lane there at the moment, mate. I'm very sorry about that. Come back in about 10 years. And Jack Lasky out of this race then. DTK championship leader. First retirement of the day. Rob Sharp, he's going to be able to get himself back in a second. As will Jordan Bradford. Horrible end to his, well, horrible moments of his day. The Brits not having a good time. First retirement, British. Problems, collisions, Brits. Home crowd won't be too happy about that. They won't mind too much at the moment, though. Daniel Harvey is leading, and leading quite well. British team has not won here. Tapio Rinho, meanwhile, good move there. He's gone past Ben Utsa down the hangar. Pulls out. He's still a long way back, but he should be able to under brakes. Yeah, it's a good move there. Drivers very respectful of each other. I think Utsa as well. Happy to allow the overtake once he knew that it wasn't going to be his. So now Rinho. What can he do? He needs to be able to start working his way towards Harvey. It's a 7.6. My goodness. Dyslexic much. 7.6 second gap that Rinho currently has between him and Daniel Harvey. So a lot of work for him to do. James McNamara, at the moment, he's in a incredibly important position for himself for 2KF1. He needs to just keep it going at this point. Doesn't want to do anything foolish. Dovizioso, he smells blood, he smells opportunity for Prifeli. See where he can get to. Look at Rinho, just straight away, gapping Utsa, also eating into Harvey's lead very, very quickly. Here's Martins currently running in 6th. Right, Luke Rosella has made the overtake there on Hugo Rossello. I think he's the second placed one-stop strategy car at the moment, so important for him. We have Engbrink, Sun and Guardian, all 2 stoppers, swarming all over the back of him at the moment. Danny Totos on a 1-stop as well as Stefan Berner. These two are fighting for position, not just on track, but strategically as well. As Rossello fighting there at the moment. Engbrink looking for the inside, won't be able to quite find it there on switchback. Those two fighting, absolutely, but there's 6 laps fuel difference between them as well, so even then it's a bit different as Hugo Rossello wide once again. That chicane, that allows Engbrink to just race on through. Thank you very much, he says. Clarendon Motorsport, definitely not a British team, but running the British Racing Green this round. Possibly further on as well. We got the news that there's another change to the DTK livery. There's another mustard-esque change. Not too sure where or how, but that's what I hear. Rinho continuing the charge for Utsa. Yeah, I think he's just running his own race at this point in time, and that's fair enough. McNamara has to be careful of Dovizioso hunting him down. He also has to be a little bit careful of Rui Martins. He doesn't want to be fighting his teammate unnecessarily. Doesn't want to be fighting anyone unnecessarily at this point in time. Just let him go. Let him be. Nathan Corns, he's on a charge. A bit further back. Dovizioso looking for it. McNamara just doesn't want to give it up. For a championship leader on a completely different strategy that requires a lot of help from other drivers to not do anything silly to him, James McNamara is definitely making it quite hard on himself. Fastest lap of the race there for Tapio Rinho. Oh, and down to 5.9 seconds. He is moving at the moment in this Falcon. Dovizioso now, down the straight. He seems close enough. McNamara, though, has been able to get him onto the outside of the track, and here endeth the challenge. Oh, and there's the bump. There's the bump. So close between them. McNamara holds his position. Dovizioso as well. McNamara, he's playing with fire there. He doesn't need to be this defensive. That is for sure. Let Dovizioso pass. Let Martins pass. Hell, let Joseph Wright pass. There is nothing at all to have to worry about. Oh, Chris Guardian struggling to make enough to be able to get past Hugo Rossello. There is Nathan Corns having recovered from that very early spin. So nearly a quarter of the way through this race. Yes, Sigalakis. Here's Bradford, and I think is fastest at the moment on the track. Getting the word, yeah, so McNamara has been overtaken then. Dovizioso on the front straight. Good move by the Italian. Now McNamara has got his teammate right behind. A lot of slipstream there for Rui Martins. McNamara surely should just let him pass. Seems to be the case. Runs off the curve a little bit. Joseph Wright looking for it, but won't find it just yet. Imagine probably next lap, and that's well negotiated there by McNamara in the end. Joseph Wright surely soon enough will be making the move past as well. Corns has gone past Rossello, as has Chris Guardian, so again past the Frenchman, who's now back into the battle with Totos and Berner, and they're all on the same strategy, so it's going to be impacting all of them. Here comes Joseph Wright, meanwhile. Down the main straight, is he far up enough? I think he might be. He's got the inside line. Doesn't quite have the drive off the corner, however, to be able to get past McNamara. Through this fantastic set of S's here at Silverstone. And then in the slipstream. He's got a good run there. Got a very nice run. McNamara overtaken yet again there. He's got 5 seconds back to Luke Rosella, but he won't have to worry about battling around anymore. We'll go back to the front now. Daniel Harvey. Just watching his lead evaporate at the hands of Tapio Rinho. Get an idea of just the difference between the two cars and drivers at the moment. 123.5 or 123.6 to 122.6. It's a second per lap at the moment for Rinho. This is crazy, as we saw a yellow flag briefly there. Oh, Hugo Rossello, he's just not getting it today. It's a tough one, chucking a rookie into a pretty decent Formula FG car, I will admit. But putting him on a heavy fuel load. You've seen a lot of very experienced and successful drivers in years past. I seem to think one in particular, like Pablo Deal. I think he was in the BRT. It might have been season 2. You know, there's a driver at top of his game, runner-up the season before, looking good. Had no pace whatsoever. It might have even been season 1 if I think about it. No speed whatsoever, and ended up putting it into a wall. You know, you're chucking your rookie on the heavy strategy. It's difficult, and the frustrating thing for that team is that both the cars are running one behind the other at the moment. Not quite on track, but in position definitely. And they won't be too happy about that, that is for sure. I think Daniel Harvey can just see Carlos Rodriguez on occasion, which must be a little bit off-putting. Tapio Rinho, on the other hand, can definitely see Daniel Harvey. There he goes there. Stefan Berner there making the overtake on Danny Totos. Important there on the one-stop strategy for them. Oh, another 0.4 of a second there for Tapio Rinho. Started his career at DTK, of course, the Finn. 3rd place there. Got some wins. Got a Constructors' Championship. Less successful in Season 2. Dropped for Season 3. made the move to Falcon. It's been looking pretty good. Another fast lap of the race for him, down to 1.6. Chasing the car that once upon a time would have been his. You can just about taste the mustard colour. It's getting so close. Benutza here. Definitely does not have the pace of that leading duo. Or rather, well, I mean, he's not on the pace of Harvey, that is for sure, but he's definitely not on Rinjaho's pace. Dovizioso here. He's just been able to pull away a little bit from Martins and Wright. Wright in particular is a few laps less fuel than Martins, so that's a strategy ploy from Raven West. Going to be looking for a little bit of track position. Track position, of course, has worked really well for Raven West so far this season, that is for sure. Picked up them and Joseph Wright a couple of wins, so you can definitely respect that choice. James McNamara here, dropping off the back of Martins and in towards the clutches of Rosella, as would be expected. See how much longer he can hold out, if he will hold out. Rosella is definitely eating away at that lead. Comes down to how long before he needs to pit though. And even then, McNamara is going to have the same old problem once more. So he'll probably have some of the leaders starting to pit right on top of him. Chris Guardian running in 11th at the moment, just ahead of Nathan Corns. Stefan Berner a bit further behind. And he's got a good gap to Danny Totos already. Here's Omar Saeed, one stop. Hallington as well. Sigalakis now starting to cut through this pack a little bit. He's gone past his teammate. Jordan Bradford will be looking to do the same here down the main straight. Don't think of it as an overtaking opportunity too often down into the first corner, but makes it happen, makes it work quite well. Oh, and here we go. Look at Rinjaho now, right onto the back of Daniel Harvey. Maybe he's going to have a look down the main straight as well. Last round became the all-time leading podium finisher, I guess you would say. 23 podiums to his name, Tapio Rinjaho, overtaking his countryman Joel Rautavaara. And into sole ownership of first place in that category. And this round, should he score 8th place, he will also take the lead in the all-time point scoring as well. And he wants to bring that up with a win. That is definitely what it seems to be. He's on the outside here of Daniel Harvey. Backs out of it. Will take the racing line. Carlos Rodriguez might become an issue here for these two. Oh, Harvey there. Defensive up over the curb. This is where it'll give a little bit of impetus to Benutza if these two battle for a bit. Harvey getting quite defensive there. Trying whatever he can. Especially as these guys will be pitting soon, it's going to be quite important. See who can get it done. Here we go, Rinjaho maybe having a look. Oh, and he's been able to get it done there as well. Nice move there by Tapio Rinjaho. He moves into the lead here at the British Grand Prix. And immediately starts trying to set a gap there to Daniel Harvey. It would seem that he is successful in doing that. He's moved away from Harvey. Harvey not in the slipstream at the moment. a great move there by Rinyaho, that is for sure. Rodriguez a bit of a lockup, and now he's going to have to worry about blue flags. Doesn't want to impact the race too much. Well, they probably prefer not to impact it at all. Joseph right there, right onto the back of the Vizioso, but he's coming in this lap. There you go, peels off the inside of the corner there. McNamara has Rosella right on the back of him. It's going to be more pain for him, as well as Damien's son won't be too far away, but he's probably only got himself a little bit longer. Rosella there was looking up the inside. McNamara has to play this well. Coming down the straight now. Result here today. I think it would be 6th or better. Could be setting him up for the championship lead. Ooh, running wide a little bit there, Damien's son. Just forcing the Australian to have to watch his line. Son has Engbrink right behind him as well. There's Joseph Wright. That's where he's popped out. So he's come out just ahead of Stefan Berner. And this is the sort of position that... This is the driver that James McNamara will be battling. And don't think McNamara is going to be in a position of going for the win. He's going to have a bit of luck go his way for that. So you don't feel that he's going to be in any position to be picking up victory, McNamara, but podium is definitely an opportunity. And Engbrink there, I think McNamara will be quite happy about that. That's one less car to have to worry about, and it makes it so much easier to only have Damien's son. Oh, and son just can't quite get the job done there. Just needs to get close to the back of McNamara through here, which it looks like he's been able to do. So he should be able to get a run down the straight here. Makes the move. McNamara lets him through there. Wise by the Australian. Doesn't need to battle him. He'll get the position back in just under a lap. Benusa won't be too far away. Is Daniel Harvey. Tapio Rinyaho will be pitting in now. This is where we get to see the race leader. And he has pace as well. Don't forget that. He has serious pace here today. He pulls away. Daniel Harvey now will be the leader of the race. He'll pit in soon after. Benusa likely the same. So here's McNamara. We can start to see where the pace is going to put him. Rinyaho looks like, yeah, he's already... Oh, just coming out of the pit lane now. Well ahead of Rosella, which means he's well ahead of McNamara. So Rinyaho definitely has the pace here at the moment on the two-stop strategy. Luke Rosella is going to be pressuring him at the moment, and I think it would be wise for Rinyaho just to not have to worry about it, but he's a little bit defensive there. Rosella might be far up enough. Won't quite get it. Nathan Corns there, quite a distance behind McNamara, but should be able to start working on it. Joseph Wright. And Stefan Berner, himself a bit of time. Damien's son has come out just ahead of Tim Engbrink. They've come out ahead of Totos and Sigalakis, but Totos especially as important in terms of one-stop strategy races. Omar Saeed not too far away from that either. Sigalakis going to be coming in this lap. Bit of a lock-up there from the Hungarian as well. In goes Rosella. Martins is in. Harvey has come in. Made his stop. Rinho has already swept well and truly past him. Oh, and McNamara was just getting ready to take that corner. Wasn't able to get himself quite far up enough on Harvey. And so he gets held up a little bit there, McNamara. Benitz is a bit further behind him. And Rui Martins has gotten himself back ahead of Joseph Wright. McNamara there looking for the overtake. He's on the offensive now. Smells the opportunity there on Daniel Harvey, but DTK on fresh tyres. We'll get an indication now. McNamara, what is he going to be able to achieve? Hunting down Harvey at the moment. Looks like that challenge might just have subsided a little bit now. McNamara, he's losing a little bit of time, hasn't quite got the grip. Nathan Corns will be coming in this lap. Once again battling with Benutza. It was Sigalakis that I believe he hit, wasn't it? And as Dovizioso's come in, I think Dovizioso might even have been leading. Yeah, he was. So Andrea Dovizioso was leading the race, everybody. I don't want to sound like that's, never happened before. I mean, Andrea has been able to actually win a race, so, credit where it's due. Good to see him having a good race yet again, and he's popped out there. He's just ahead of Martins. Got to be careful. Martins looking racy. He's got the tyres up to temperature, it would seem. Profelli's at the moment looking like they've got a pretty good race set up for them. Ooh. Big move there by Martins. How did those two not collide is the question. Just have a look here. How close is the front of the 2KF1 to the Profelli? Well, incredibly. I seem to think that they may have gone through each other, and that just sort of proves it. So, once again, transcending this mortal plane for something of a higher calling. Andrea Dovizioso and Rui Martins. I mean, why would you do, come on, why would you make your car, intangible? Why wouldn't you just make it fly? Like Marty McFly and whatnot, and just, zoom off in a DeLorean. 88 miles per hour, boys. Stefan Berner there running in 8th at the moment. Not too bad for him. There's Luke Rosella. What a short stint they've set up there for the Australian at Profelli. Joseph Wright pitted laps before him, I swear, and Rosella has even less in the tank. So he's looking for a little bit of track position. There's Danny Totos at the moment. Jordan Bradford hunting him down. Bradford has a stop to go. That'll likely be his second and probably his final stop, I would imagine, after that early collision that ultimately has cost Jack Lasky. At the moment, the only retirement from this race. Oh, and he's good under brakes. That car is so quick at the moment, the Falcon. We're really seeing it perform here today. Rinho was showing it, and so is he. And oh, Joseph Wright. Seems to be the problem, suspension failure. He's doing so well there, Wright. He's doing all the right things, I guess you would say. And that is incredibly unfortunate for him. Wasn't in his control. Well, you feel that it probably wasn't in his control anyway. Look at Rinho. 10-second gap to Daniel Harvey. Harvey's done well, you know, at the same time. He's gapped James McNamara to the tune of 3 seconds. But he's lost like 7, at least, to Rinho. Like, he's been absolutely creamed at this moment. Rinho has just not stopped all race, just continued this barnstorming paces. Yeah, the yellow flag briefly. Ooh, Luke Rosella. Making the move there on Stefan Burnett. Oh, gets the back of the BRT. The BRT goes spearing off as well, but he finds himself back onto the circuit with no problems. And Hugo Rosella and Matthew Allington here look like they've had a little bit of a get-together as well. Yellow flags, pretty sure they might have still been waving, so it's very unnecessary from Rossello to be doing anything there. So he gets going once more. Allington on his way as well. Here we go, McNamara now under a lot of pressure. Behind him, Ben Utzer looking racy. Fresher tyres on that BRT making a very big difference. And as a result as well, McNamara playing it very defensively. Another brief yellow flag. Oh, Nathan Corns has gone off this time. He's got himself lost as well. Ooh, that's a weird one. So he's gotten past Totos and then big understeer moment there. Finds the wall briefly. Finds the wall heavily. Lost control there on the grass. Nathan Corns will head into retirement there. Don't seem to have found any runaway wheels or anything, so I don't think that's going to be a problem for anyone. So both Raven Wests out in quick succession. Rob Sharp there pulling in. Danny Totos dodging that dive bomb. Now here we go, Tim Engbrink on the back of Burner. It's low fuel versus fresh tyres. Ooh, Benutza there. Yep, he was battling with McNamara, so there's going to be a tap here, you imagine. There it is indeed. McNamara does run off. He comes back on, and Benutza gets himself going again pretty quickly. It's not really helping either of their days, however. McNamara doesn't want to be losing too much time, but now he has, and same with Utsa. Both were probably within striking distance of being able to do something to Daniel Harvey, but you have to imagine that it's probably not going to happen now. Not least because McNamara doesn't have the pace. Not until he pits probably around 6 laps or so. And Benutza, well, just doesn't seem to have the pace full stop, but that's not the issue. And Dovizioso now is going to be close to the back of this. Martins isn't too far away either, and he might have something to say about it, as Engbrink has gotten past Burner there. Luke Rosella right on the back of the Dutchman as well. There, significantly quicker than Rosella. Sorry, other way around. Rosella significantly quicker than Burner. Gonna be looking to make the overtake. Not gonna find it, so maybe I was right the first time. Stefan Burner just doing enough at the moment. Rosella looks like he wants to do something. Big lock up there from Burner. Another little nudge. Both get through it. Here's Daniel Harvey. Well ahead of McNamara. Going to get an idea of the gap in a second. 11 seconds. Pretty sure it was 9 seconds about a lap and a half ago. It says he may be close enough here. Maybe wants to have a go. It doesn't seem quite. Oh, yes, no, he pulls out. Has he gotten it? Oh, he's a long way down the inside there. He's going to continue fighting it. Don't think he's going to find it. He's going to cut to the inside, though. Thinks better of it. He's already had one spin, trying to attack the back of McNamara through there, and clearly doesn't want to have another. He does have to be careful. Dovizioso is just stalking down these two. Rui Martins isn't too far off the back either. It's now all looking for it. He's not looking in the right place there. As he comes out of the first corner. Now another yellow flag. It's not our leaders. Oh, it's Omar Saeed. Problem there for the Turkish driver. Suspension failure as well for him. Another race for him. There's McNamara still defending the back. Still defending Utsa. And Utsa should be able to get it done this time. Nicely done on the inside. Moves on, and you can see in the distance there was the DTK Daniel Harvey, and also the Optima of Omar Saeed getting winched away. So McNamara now sliding back a little bit once more. It's not too far away from a pit stop, however, and that's really important for him. Wants to get in there as quickly as possible, lose as little positions as possible. His teammate isn't too far from the back of him as well, and that's when it's going to become really difficult for the team. Who do you put through? I mean, Martins is driving faster due to his strategy. McNamara needs all the help he can get, not just in this race on the one stop, but also in the championship. Dovizioso down the inside there. Nicely done there by the Italian. Moves himself up into 4th place. Sweeping past McNamara, and I think for the 2KF1 driver, the best thing happened there for him. And is he going to fight back here down the hangar straight? However, it looks like he may. Got a lot of speed there. Oh, but Dovizioso fighting back on the outside. The fresh tyres working well for him. McNamara thinking about maybe looking for it. It'd be silly, it'd be foolish of him, and doesn't end up going for it in the end. So really well played there by Dovizioso through the first corner, also through Stowe. Himself ahead of McNamara. Martins. Next one there for his teammate. And realistically, as I've been mentioning quite often this season, it's like, just let your teammate through. Just don't worry about it. You got your own race, your own pace to have to worry about. I'm expecting McNamara might come back with a bit more pace in the final stint, as it'll be close to similar. You know, compared to giving a 20-lap head start on tyres, we're only going to be talking about 6 or so. So he might come back. The undercut might be good for him as well, as Stefan Berner's spun off there. Yeah, there's nobody around him. Low fuel, this is where these cars get a little bit hairy as well, and you're used to them being so heavy. You're finding the new limits of the vehicle. It just catches Stefan Berner out there. BRTs here have not had a good time when it comes to one-stop strategies, that is for sure. In fact, I don't think BRT have had a good time here at all. Full stop. I'll have to look into that. Because we still have a yellow flag somewhere. Oh, Damien's son. What has happened here? Oh, big one. Big one. Now, he's by himself here, because, yeah, he's behind Martins. Long way up the road. Makes some Beckett's. Through he comes. Oh, he's just gone wide, really wide. I think that's Chappell, isn't it? Oh, massive one. Losing the rear wing there. As he backs it into the wall. Car still seems good though. The all carbon fiber Challenger. Just look at that though. It's a Formula Ford car. Which makes sense. It has a Ford Cosworth. You can see right there the Ford sponsorship on the engine cover. Is he going to find himself any gap? He might find his boss driving by in a moment. The danger of these 100% races as well, you can find yourself very quickly stuck in positions and you just can't find a gap to get out in, a safe gap. You will, however, Damien Son, and that is quite a sight to behold, I'm not going to lie. Seeing the car driving along there, no rear wing. And look, he was only 40 k's under what you would normally expect, and he didn't exactly have the heads like the run-up that Daniel Harvey had, for instance. Let's get an idea of how quick Harvey is going through speed trap, I guess you'd say. Pulling up past 260, 270, 280, 290 as he brakes. Damien's son hitting 255 with no rear wing. Gotta give it to him. That's a hell of an effort. As Rui Martins has gotten past James McNamara. That's happened quite recently. Tim Engbrink then next in line if he can catch up. Luke Rosella very close to pitting. Chris Guardian got some points. Possibly Stefan Berner is going to be coming in this lap. One of the first pitters on the one-stop strategy. Matthew Allington will be following him in. Hugo Rossello hasn't got too long before he has to pit as well. So you see where Stefan Berner pops out. He'll be the first driver to be pitting in. So it all comes to him. Effectively everyone is going to be shuffling in before and after him in relation to checkered flag and in regards to how many pit stops, how many organised pit stops they have left in the race. But Berner will be coming in. He has a 6.6 second lead over Manolis Sigalakis, who will come racing around on the straight. Matthew Allington following him in now. Jordan Bradford battling with Hugo Rossello. Bradford, ooh, not going to quite find it. Stefan Berner there pops back out in 16th position. Should be where he starts his run to the checkered flag from. He actually finds himself a lap down now. Tapio Rinio actually quite a long way ahead of him. Daniel Harvey here. Long way ahead of Ben Utzer as well. 11.9 seconds. Vizioso sticking close. Martin's the next one. A bit further down the road. Doesn't seem to have quite the same pace. McNamara is falling back. His pit stop can't come soon enough for him, and I think it'll be coming next lap indeed. Just look at the gap there straight away. Jordan Bradford, heavier car as well. Much heavier car, but just so much more pace. Here's Rinho. He's only a couple of laps away from having to pit himself. Daniel Harvey just not really in this race at all at the moment. In terms of going for the lead. Find Ben Utzer here. That gap between himself and Dovizioso just sort of ebbing and flowing a little bit. Here with Rinho. What a fantastic race it has been so far from him. Here comes Jordan Bradford, his teammate. Danny Totos. Yeah, nothing there for him at all. Oh, Matthew Allington. Hairy moment there. Through the S's. Max and Beckett's. McNamara finally pitting in. Where is that going to put him out? In relation to who? Sigalakis, yeah, he'll get him. Sigalakis pitting in this lap as well. So McNamara starts his final stint. 21 laps to go for him. He's in 10th place, with everyone ahead of him still to pit. Tapio Runiho is actually closer to McNamara's behind than he is, than McNamara is to Runiho's, which is a worrying thought. Runiho will come in at the end of this lap, as we just heard. And the final few corners. Won't quite catch Totos. Not yet anyway. He peels off and in he comes then. Sigalakis had pitted as well. So he'll get out of there, Runiho. He is off and underway. Daniel Harvey going to come through here by the looks of it. Yeah, so Daniel Harvey actually gets into the lead of this race, but he's got a pit and Runiho's so close to him. There's still to pit. Obviously Daniel Harvey. Runiho well in control of this race. Ben Utsu to pit in this lap. Davizioso going lap extra. I think that'll be the same for Rui Martins. Engbrink in this lap. Damien Sun did make it back. New rear wing there for him as well. In comes Chris Guardian. That's another position for McNamara, so he's back to 7th. Yes. Bradford is in 8th, yet to pit. So Rosella is chasing down McNamara for position. We have a yellow flag. Oh, it's Davizioso. What's he done here? Oh, big understeer moment. Big trip across the gravel there. How's he going to get it going? Which way is he going to go with it? He's found himself back into the gravel trap. He's trying to get the wheels spinning around. McNamara's quite a distance down the track from him, so he should be able to get it going and find the circuit any moment now, and indeed he will. But what an amazing amount of time lost there for Davizioso. Was looking really good. He's just behind Utsa, but now he's only marginally ahead of McNamara. Engbrink's in, Utsa's in there. Martins is going another lap. Harvey's going another few laps. Benutza will come out. Just to put it in perspective, Benutza was only, what, like 2 seconds ahead of Andrea Dovizioso. Andrea Dovizioso hasn't even been able to get past Utsa as he came out of the pits. So Utsa in 4th. McNamara has gotten himself to 6th. Engbrink just didn't get past him. Rui Martins will be coming in this lap. He'll be coming out of the pit lane very close to his teammate. Dovizioso will be in this lap as well. So out comes Rui Martins. So in fact, he might be a bit closer to Utsa than McNamara. And Dovizioso, McNamara coming through now. But actually, there you go. They're not too far away from each other, the 2KF1. So McNamara in 5th now. I think everyone has pitted in front of him except for Daniel Harvey, but I don't think that's going to be a close one for him. Dovizioso, as he comes out now. Chris Guardian goes past. Rob Sharp isn't anywhere close, neither is Sigalakis. So back to 10th for Dovizioso when it realistically could have been 4th. He's going to have to chase down Chris Guardian. Jordan Bradford yet to pit as well at the moment. Of which way is McNamara going? Is he getting closer or is he going further away? And he's staying stable, it would seem. Engbrink, on the other hand, is moving forwards at the moment. Here comes the Dutchman. Rosella is 5 seconds behind Engbrink, who is 2.5 behind McNamara. So 7.5 seconds for Rosella to catch his countryman. Danny Totos. Matthew Allington. Pair of them running close together. There's Daniel Harvey. He's made his pit, so Tapio Riniho back into the control of this race. Ben Utzon nowhere in sight. Daniel Harvey back out in 2nd place. Here comes Totos down the straight on Allington. And he gets the move done. Sigalakis there. Seemed like he was just understeering through that corner. I believe he'll be inheriting 10th place quite soon. Here's Reniho. What a effort so far. We've also gone past the 75% race distance, so this is where it generally gets hairy here in the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. You generally find that it's, well, we've found in the past it's generally normal for the first 45 odd laps. And once you start hitting 45, you hit 50 in particular, you just see a lot more mechanical retirement. Sometimes as well, it's just driver fatigue as well. These guys are not used to driving for this amount of time. This is back into the unknown. Of course they did it in Australia, but so long ago now. So there you go, Sigalakis inheriting 10th place there. As you can see on telemetry. Bradford only back in 11th, so, and he's just ahead of Stefan Berner, so yeah, he's got a realistic chance of getting back to the points. There's anyone that would be worried at this stage of the race, it would surely be Ben Uxa. Into the unknown. The final 25%. You don't want to foreshadow it, but it's something that has to be acknowledged. A few times this season, car has conked out very close to the finish line. Three Martins here. Running in 4th. McNamara, I think, slowly pulling in his teammate, but Martins did have the slightly fresher tyres, so it's staying relatively stable between the two drivers from 2KF1. For Rui Martins, though, coming into the last fifth of the race, he wants to be holding on to that as much as possible. Jordan Bradford, look at the speed he has here at the moment over Manolis Sigalakis. Just so much speed. As Tim Engbrink is coming to the pit lane with a brake problem there. The Keranen Motorsport car. So 6th place for him. Now looks like he'll be dropped out of the top 10. How far back is the question? It's a long way down the pit lane, however, and so he's almost out again already. Sigalakis battling with Bradford. Out he comes. Oh, and he finds the Keranen Motorsport car. He's going to just sneak past, as will Bradford. Berner is looking for the opportunity as well. What will happen here? Sigalakis now in 9th. Bradford back into the points. Engbrink having just been disposed. Bradford struggling on the straight there. Engbrink being able to hold off Berner, who just wasn't committed to that overtake. Andrea Dovizioso further up the road with Chris Guardian. Those two look like they're going to be having a good battle to the end of the race. Luke Rosella, meanwhile, he's 9 seconds behind James McNamara. It doesn't look like he's making much of an impression into that anymore. Damien Sun coming out of the pit lane. McNamara having cleared him there. McNamara actually is catching his teammate here. So we might see some late team orders from 2KF1. You'd think is a possibility. Let McNamara through. And this battle pack is... Jordan Bradford has been able to get through there on Manola Sigalakis, so overtake there, and now Sigalakis under pressure from Tim Engbrink, who is pitted. He is on incredibly fresh tyres. These two Season 1 teammates, that's Speedy. And down, oh, Sigalakis just going to be able to hold that one there on Engbrink. Berner is now interested. Two Dutchmen, not going to find it. Riniho right on the back of all of this as well, and he'll want to just get past with the least amount of hassle as possible. And there we go, he will get that from Stefan Berner. No issue whatsoever, and Riniho gets one lap on overlap done. Down the main straight now, Sigalakis. Has he got enough to pull away from the Kerrinan Motorsport car? Trying to get the home crowd in their favour, running that paint scheme this weekend. And for Engbrink, it looked like it was going quite well. That car, they've been sort of sweating over it all season. Kerrinan Motorsport didn't think that it really had the legs to survive, and well, if anything, today has proven it. It did not have the legs to survive, as Dovizioso there making the move on Chris Guardian, getting the job done. Through he goes. Jordan Bradford still going to chase those guys down. Sigalakis now and Engbrink have Riniho right on the back of them. When does Engbrink pull the pin on this little battle? He already seems to be dropping off a little bit. Or Sigalakis. Or taking a really risky line through there and only just finds the apex. Well, only just finds the corner, full stop. So that's probably the best way of putting it. These two just holding up Riniho a little bit. McNamara, yeah, ever closer to the back of his teammate. Here you go, Tim Engbrink right on the back here of Tapio Riniho. How close will they get to the back of Sigalakis? This could be a cheeky move if Sigalakis decides to pull over somewhere here down the Hangar Straight. Well, in fact, it's actually Engbrink that's almost looking to unlap himself there. Not sure if that's particularly necessary. This is where it gets difficult for Sigalakis. He's got to play this right. Oh, and he lets through Riniho, and he's going to almost let through Engbrink. Engbrink looking for the cheeky move on the inside. Now has the outside line, however, the Dutchman, and he can't find it. Sigalakis just holding on to that. Well played by Sigalakis. He let Riniho through, and he was very prompt to be shutting the door on Engbrink. So now Riniho actually has his teammate next to be able to catch. Will he be able to do that? Be a hell of an effort for him, that is for sure, to be able to find himself overlapping 9th. He started in 9th, Tapio Riniho. He's overlapped all the way to 10th so far. Go back towards this little battle that could be brewing any moment now. 2KF1 drivers, McNamara chasing down his teammate. You'd imagine the team probably would want McNamara to be the one taking the lead. Haven't got to worry about Luke Rosella behind them really at all. And for that reason, you'd probably be looking to get points onto the lead driver in the championship. At the moment, they're looking like they're going to be walking away with quite a handy pickup, 22 points. Should these two be able to A, make the flag, and B, not trip over themselves on the way there. Such massive gaps here. At the moment. Haven't seen too many of these sort of gaps in races recently. They've been quite close for the most part. Not too many lapped cars, but that's what happens. You tend to find that 75% races, you're only just starting to see drivers get themselves to being overlapped. When you get into the 100% races, the full length Grand Prix, that's where you're starting to see cars, multiple cars getting overlapped, as you can see from Rinho, who's able to get himself back into 10th as we have a yellow flag. Oh, Manolis Sigalakis. Is this maybe a touch from Engbrink? No. Oh, a little bit of a lock up there. Might have just been running it. Oh, big spin out. Gets the car going again immediately, but he's in 12th now. And Rob Sharp might be able to... Oh, he's a bit far behind, you'd say. Stefan Berner, meanwhile, he's looking for points. He's going to be able to get it. Not quite. Doesn't quite have the speed necessary there on the Kerrinan Motorsport car. So Engbrink getting away with that. Battle of the Dutchmen. Get an idea in a moment just what sort of speed Bradford has. What can he find? Dovizioso should be out of his reach, you would imagine. Dovizioso's been driving well so far today. 1:23.0. 23.4 there for Guardian. Here comes Bradford. 22.5. 5.3 seconds. There's still time for him. Oh, but he might have just put it off a little bit there at the first corner. At some stage, he's probably going to have to move over for his teammate as well. Carlos Rodriguez battling with Matthew Allington here. They're going to be battling under the blue flags in a moment. Here comes Daniel Harvey. Flying onto the back of these two. Just look at the speed of the DTK. Now they're going to play this. It looks like Rodriguez might be letting Harvey through. Yeah, indeed he does. And they will chase down Guardian. Martin's now just ahead of McNamara. You want to start to find how long the gaps are. Rosella would stand to profit from anything happening, you would imagine. Only the length of Hangar Straight. 5 laps remaining now for Tapio Rinniho. Is McNamara going to be able to find anything? Harvey now finds himself past Matthew Allington. Oh, he's gone off there. Daniel Harvey. It's not going to matter too much, you would imagine. He's going to have to get past These cars, again, Allington and Rodriguez. Roots is still going to be 12 odd seconds behind. So no issue there, but worrying moment for him. He doesn't want to go too deep into that gravel trap or it could all be lights out for him. This battle here between the two KF1s set to erupt. Jordan Bradford. Oh, Dovizioso off again. Oh, big mistake there from the Italian, bouncing over the gravel trap. He'll lose position to Bradford. He'll lose it to Rinho as well. Engbrink seems like he's close enough. Dovizioso can't figure out which way he's going. Berner's going to go through Sigalakis. He's going to lose all of the positions. Heartbreaking there for Andrea Dovizioso. He eventually gets it back onto the track almost. Yep, there he goes, but he's down into P15 now. McNamara, he's gone down positions. Everyone else has gone up. Rinho, big winner, of course, going up 8 to get himself to the lead. Rosella, though, up 10 and Engbrink up 12. Into 9th at the moment. Jordan Bradford still has the opportunity here to be catching Chris Guardian as well. That's what we've got to talk about. And maybe the Falcon team will just be telling Tapio Rinho, hey, you know what, you don't need to catch your teammate. Make sure he has the lap. That extra lap to be able to catch Guardian. Extra 2 points to the team. McNamara's challenge. Apparently it was really close before. A 10th of a second. Yeah, there you go. Telemetry showing it there. So it's right on the back of his teammate across the start-finish line. Wasn't able to find it. 3 laps remaining now. Oh no! And Profelli, they had it. 6th and 7th. And now look at this. Luke Rosella's engine sending out smoke signals 3.5 laps from the finish. There's the flames. Black smoke now. The engine slowly eating itself to bits. He's almost going to make it back to the pit lane, to the pit straight. There it goes. Pulls it off. That's the end of his race. So unfortunate there for Luke Rosella and for the Profelli racing team. It's just handing extra positions. Engbrink, Berner, Sigalakis finds himself into the points now. Miraculously. And that's what these 100% races can do. 2 laps remaining now for Tapio Rinho. You can see his teammate just up in the distance. Does he really want to be catching him though? Out goes Luke Rosella. He'll be classified, but that's not the important thing. Is Bernuzza, you wouldn't believe it. You would not believe it. Running in 3rd. 2 laps to go. Or 2 and a bit laps to go. The Renault engine has expired. And this is once again what we're talking about. These 100% races. Just pull them out of nowhere. Retirement start littering the track all of a sudden. An oil leak brings an end to Bernuzza's race. It was such a well-crafted race from Bernuzza. Very little went wrong. He just lacked a little bit of speed here and there, but he had everything that he needed. 3rd place dematerializes in front of his very eyes. And the script writers would probably say that this is the opportunity for the 2KF1s to now also do something. McNamara down the inside. Martin's on the outside. Oh, they're just going to be able to hold him. McNamara pulls in. Bradford may find himself on the back of Chris Guardian at the end of the lap. Tapio Riniho won't be able to catch his teammate. So now Rob Sharp into the points. Hugo Rossello so close to getting them as well now. Dovizioso almost could find himself back into the points. Three Martins. Just leading his teammate. There's Jordan Bradford. He's closed it down to less than a second behind Chris Guardian. He might be able to find it. Tapio Riniho, here we go. Coming through. He's going to go underneath the bridge here for the final time. What an effort it has been from him today. He's driven cleanly. Importantly, the engine hasn't given way to him. Doesn't look like it will now either. Nothing can stop him from getting across the line, you would say. Tapio Riniho around the final corner, rather. He's going to come down this straight. He picks up his and Falcon's first win of the season. Winning the first 100% race. What a fantastic drive from him.
Fantastic drive. Great job.
His teammate Jordan Bradford chasing down Chris Guardian. Doesn't seem to be quite close enough yet. It'll be late. That's for sure. Engbrink in 7th. Great result for him and Karen in Motorsport. Stefan Berner in 8th. Manolis Sigalakis 9th. Sharp, Rossello, Totos, Dovizioso, Rodriguez. Harvey's going to come across in 2nd. Rui Martins is going to hold McNamara off, so they must have been letting these two race. Second place there for Harvey. They may have been letting them race. They might have actually even just told them to hold position. No point fighting. So Rui Martin's back on the podium there for 2KF1. McNamara will come across in 4th. Chris Guardian has Bradford right on his tail. The overtaking opportunities are not here though. Needing one more lap. Bradford is going to be agonizingly short, it seems. Will there be enough slipstreaming or something along those lines down the straight? I don't think it'll be quite enough though. You never know. You never know. So close there for Bradford and for Guardian. Guardian just holds onto it there for Fantastic Racing Team, however. What an amazing race we have just witnessed. And there you have it. Riniho by 35.5 seconds from Daniel Harvey. Harvey just not on the same planet. Rui Martins and James McNamara just over a 10th separating those two. The 2KF1s will be happy with that. Chris Guardian and Jordan Bradford, great finish for those two as well. And then Engbrink, Berner, Sigalakis and Sharp, they were the points finishers all lap down. Continuing that trend, Rossello, Totos, Dovizioso, Rodriguez, Allington and Damien Sun all finished the race. Utsa and Rosella within seconds of each other, both retiring within sight of the finish line basically. They will be classified, but for them and for their teams, big points lost and just it wasn't gained back. It incredibly disappointing for them and their teams, that is for sure. Omar Saeed, suspension failure. Nathan Corns put it into a wall after spinning out. Joseph Wright had suspension failure, and Jack Lasky, the first retirement after punting it straight into Jordan Bradford's spun Falcon. Defending a battle under yellow flags, yeah. Bit questionable, but that's just that. Tapio Riniho picking up the fastest lap of the race as well. And that one in. See, Riniho did all the hard work early on in the race and then just set about building a gap. Harvey did well though. Martin's had an up and down race. Late on worked well for him. McNamara, the one-stop strategy didn't really work for him today. It was a safe one, however. They were able to chase Lasky at the start, and I think that it would have worked well enough for him. He actually hits the lead of the championship as well, and we also mentioned, of course, with a win, Tapio Rinniho is the all-time points leader as well for drivers. So, big congratulations to him. Fantastic effort. Andrea Dovizioso, he was one of the star drivers today, there's no doubt about that. He hit the lead there for a lap as well, was classified as the leader on that lap, which was something for him. And then, rather unfortunately, spinning from 7th place, which would have ended up becoming 5th. And that was even well before the fact that he spun away from just behind Ben Utzer, so that would have been 3rd for him. So really unfortunate for Dovizioso. Had a great drive, but those mistakes just absolutely killing him. Engbrink and Totos, the Aston Martin colours. Engbrink, can't forget there, he was running in 6th. Retirement still to come from him, from people ahead of him. He could have found himself right on the back of the 2KF1s, maybe challenging McNamara, so he would have been up in 5th himself. He made it back to 7th though, so he wouldn't be too disappointed by that in the car, that is for sure. Big race here, ladies and gentlemen, that is definitely the case. Points in terms of the championship, McNamara finds himself in a small lead, very small, and DTK lose very little ground ultimately. The ground that they made up last race, just that's gone this race, but just by a little bit. So not too bad for them, that is for sure. Falcon big winners as well, so as they continue their little shuffle up the leaderboard. Fantastic and Karen Motorsport, they probably now have got themselves quite a battle on their hands as well, down towards the bottom of the table. With that though, everybody, do hope you enjoyed this race. A great one to be a part of. Next round is another 100% from Hockenheim Ring, the original Hockenheim Ring in Germany. Going to be a great race there. Prepare your engines for just a crazy race, no doubt. With that, do hope we'll be able to see you then. Thank you everybody, and good night.